right here, ladies and gentlemen. Panel 2 at your Quick Stop Day flashback is younger than he is at Chasing Amy. Holden McNeil is sketching in an art pad behind the counter at Quick Stop. Says use any image from Clerks as reference. He wears the old Quick Stop smock that Jay wore in Jay and Silent Bob Strike Back. So now, if you're way into this shit like I am, you're like, what the fuck? Holden worked at Quick Stop? He does now. Hey. So, panel 3 is over Holden onto what he's sketching in his art pad. It's a version of the cover of Ranger Danger Requiem. That's what was on Jay's shirt in Jay and Silent Bob Reboot. Holden's voiceover tells us.
It was this amazing job where I had no oversight and tons of time to sit around and draw because nobody ever came into that store.
Panel 4, close on Holden, lost his drawing, framed by the edges of clothing worn by waiting customers on the other side of the counter. The customers we don't see yet, but we know who the fuck they are and stuff. And Holden's voiceover says,
well, nobody but them.
And then, of course, Holden's drawing at the counter, so the voice we hear talking to Holden screams,
yo, Bob Ross! You really want to paint something? Paint these nuts with your tongue, you cock knockers!
Restraint Ben Affleck showed by not casting himself in Gone Baby Gone, I have waited till page 8 to bring Jay and Silent Bob into the story. Page 8, splash page, over Holden onto Jay and Silent Bob as Silent Bob puts Movie brand Moo-Hoo on the counter to purchase Jay, yanks his pants down with one hand and holds his dick with the other so that only his hanging nuts are exposed. And then it says here in parentheses, use image from Jay as Akinmiri as reference. Jay sticks his tongue out metal style, so that's what was happening when he did that. Page 9, panel 1, Holden shields his eyes from Jay's nuts behind the counter. Holden says,
Jesus, get those things away from the ice cream. Dogs.
I'm gonna let you do that again. It was good, but the laugh came before the punchline and shit, so they'll miss the setup for the next joke. So that ain't on you, that's on the cacklers over there. But we ain't gonna come down on them. We like when people laugh, and it's an embarrassment of riches if they're laughing over jokes. That being said, I'm a perfectionist, let's get it fucking right. All right, here we go. Holden says, action.
Jesus, get those things away from the ice cream. Hogging dogs.
Says the guy who's always hogging dongs in his mouth.
Jay's mic sounds weak. Jack Jay up.
Yeah, pack a rhymes, my good man. It's time to kick back, drink some beers, and smoke some weed.
Panel 3, we see both parties in profile as Holden hands raps to Jay, and Silent Bob extends money to Holden. Jay is screaming his head off in performance mode. And Holden says,
Didn't you guys ever see Scarface?
Fuck Casper Gomez and fuck the fucking Diaz brothers!
I was thinking of another line. Don't get high on your own supply.
Panel 4, Jay rolls a joint at the counter with the new raps while Silent Bob plays it modestly cool. Jay tells us,
Tony Montana never had any cocaine as good as this homegrown weed. That's because Silent Bob's a horticultural genius. He grew a whole new strain of smoke just by crossbreeding some dirtweed seeds in an old Flintstones terrarium kit. Motherfuckers like MacGyver. No motherfuckers better than MacGyver. And I can prove it.
Panel 5, Jay extends the rolled joint to a nervous Holden as Silent Bob looks on smiling. Jay says,
hit this shit with us and find out.
Are you nuts? Put that away.
Man, you buy weed from us all the time.
But I don't smoke it in public. We can't blaze right here in the store. What if a cop comes in?
I can't wait to see this Disney movie. Panel 6, close on Jay, eyebrow arched mischievously as he indicates the door to the cooler at the back of the store behind them. Jay says,
yo, then lock the door and let's hit this shit back in the cooler, kid.
Page 10, we're halfway there, kids. Panel 1, interior panel room, back at the Chronicon. So we come out of the story to go back from the past, come back to the present. Back at the con, close on Holden, still telling his story to the microphone, to the crowd, kind of similar to this. Holden says,
Now, mind you, back then, it's not like it is today. This morning, I just bought a pack of Mewes pre-rolls at the weed store that's across the street from a Mewes. That's the world we live in now. But this was the early 90s, when just having some weed seeds in your pocket would be enough to send you to jail. So I had to be clever.
spoken just like Mickey Mouse. Panel 2, exterior quick stop front door. Holden's idea of clever is a sign hung in the window that reads, taking a shit, back in 5 minutes. Panel 3, now we're in the cooler, man. Interior cooler day. Holden and Jay and Silent Bob are in the cooler, surrounded by sodas and milk. It says, use image from Clerks 3 as reference, because in Clerks 3 we actually go into the cooler for the first time. We went into the cooler in the cartoons. In episode 2, they're trapped in the cooler the whole time. So much so that in Clerks 3, when they enter the cooler, if you listen very quickly, or look closely rather, Brian O'Halloran throws away a line where he goes, oh, it's cold in here, hot cold, and then fucking the scene goes out. 2 references to the Clerks cartoon in Clerks 3. That's 1, Mark Bernardin plays Lando. That's fucking 2. Okay. Panel 3, they're in the cooler, man. Jay is lighting the joint in his mouth and looking at Holden's smock. Holden is rubbing his own arms to stay warm. Jay says,
Yo, I like that schmuck you gotta wear.
You mean this smock? I hate it.
Well, can I have it?
No.
Dude, I'm sharing my weed with you and you can't even share your clothes?
Panel 4, Jay passes the joint to Holden. Holden's making an ill face. Jay says,
Look, I'm gonna stop calling you Holden McNeil and start calling you Holden onto material possessions. You're up, hero pup.
Oh, you fucking drool on it, man.
Panel, just say Pluto at the end of that.
Pluto?
Yes, I do. Drool on it.
Oh, you fucking drool on it, Pluto.
Should write that comic instead. Panel 5, Holden hits the joint as Jay and Silent Bob look on. Sound effects says, Jay says,
Yo, you wanna come see Dick Tracy with me and Silent Bob tonight? I think it's a porno.
Panel 6, close on Holden, holding his smoke, eyes wide, and then he says, his voiceover tells us,
I didn't see Dick Tracy that night. Instead,
read the next one.
I saw my heroes.
Page 11, splash page. Interior blunt cave. Holden Stone POV has changed the cooler into the blunt cave and turned Jay and Silent Bob into Blunt Man and Chronic. Behind them, we can see in place of the giant dinosaur, like in the back cave, the blunt cave is a giant movie statue, the same T-Rex pose. On a lower or higher platform behind them is the Bluntmobile. There's a hint of a giant penny. And Jeremy Simpson has drawn the comic. He just finished today. I've seen this comic completely fucking drawn. It's absolutely beautiful. Jeremy does storyboards for all the Marvel movies and stuff. He started on Game of Thrones. He started on all the CW shows. That's how I met him. He would do my storyboards on Flash and Supergirl. Then he went on to Game of Thrones. Now he fucking boards all the Marvel projects, and he can't ever talk about it. When he's done, when they start airing shit, then he's allowed to talk about it and whatnot. But I'm like, what are you drawing? He's like, I can't say. The other Kevin will get mad. But when he was drawing this panel, he goes, this is a giant penny. He's going, could I use a token? And I was like, what do you mean a token? He goes, no, like if they were playing skee ball, don't they use tokens? And I was like, that's fucking brilliant. I'm gonna get credit for that, yes. You can totally do that. And even better was he showed me a picture of a token that said Spankies. That was the name of the arcade. And he changed it to Banky. So it's a double fucking reference. We've got Chronic. And now Jay, of course, is being seen as Chronic by Holden, and Jay screams,
Holy home invading Vicky Vales, Blunt Man! Who let this cock-smoking clerk into our bitchin' blunt cave?
Page 12, panel 1, reveal Holden is standing in front of them, dressed as he was in the store, exhaling a cloud of smoke, joint in his hand, and Holden says,
Holy shit! This weed is amazing! Oh,
Panel 2, wide on the Blunt Cave as an alarm sounds and Bluntman and Chronic go racing for the Bluntmobile, followed by Holden. The sound effects of the alarm says, reed, reed.
Holy shit, Bluntman! That re-read can only mean one thing!
Panel 3, Bluntman and Chronic hop into the two-seater Bluntmobile. Holden is following them, but still a few feet from the car. Chronic says,
that mutated motherfucker must be back!
Who's back? Where are we going, guys? I gotta get back to the store.
Such a Mickey. Panel 4, close on the fire, shooting from the Bluntmobile's jet engine exhaust. The sound effect says, boom. Panel 5, the Bluntmobile takes off with Holden holding onto the vehicle's fin. The sound effect says, screech, and Holden says,
Wait!
Page 13, panel 1, we're over a hanging on for dear life Holden on to Chronic, who's looking back at Holden as Bluntman drives the Bluntmobile toward the mouth of the cave ahead. Chronic says,
there's no time, so you better bust out your spanker chick, because you're coming with us!
excellent delivery on that coming. Give it up for the board. Just the perfect pause after coming in with us. Well done.
Thank you, sir.
The master you are. Panel 2, exterior Blunt Cave night. Biggest panel on the page. The Bluntmobile explodes into the night from the mouth of the Blunt Cave with a gritted teeth Bluntman driving, a hooting Jay riding shotgun, and Holden holding on to the tail of the car for dear life. The sound effect says, vroom. Chronic says,
snooze.
Holden says,
Shit!
Panel 3, closer on Holden as he holds on to the tail of the Bluntmobile for dear life. Chronic's hand is extending in from off panel, holding out a classic sidekick domino mask to Holden. Chronic says,
quick, kid, put on this mask! You gotta protect your secret identity.
From who?
and we'll find out from who in a second, but I would just like to share with you that the beauty of working with others, not by yourself, is that people can always make your shit better. Jeremy, when he was drawing this sequence, he goes, Holden McNeil is Ben, right? And I was like, yeah, you've been drawing him for fucking like 12 pages. You just realized that? He's like, if it's Ben, he's going, instead of giving him a domino mask, can we hold out a daredevil mask for him? And so now it's that. So it's not a domino mask, he hands him a fucking daredevil mask and he wears that for the rest of the issue. I'll get credit for that.